tell me about your process that you do before you even get in that car, because I know you don't know whose house you're going to, right? You never know the celebrity you're showing up to. So what do you do to prep to get ready?
Well, for me, my goal is really to clear my mind. So in order to be a clear vessel, to be a clear medium, I really have to put my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions to the side. And that means expectation. Expectation is a really big thing that it's kind of hard not to have throughout life, but can kind of block us. And so me as a medium, when I go into a reading, I have to kind of put aside the client's expectation, my own expectation, the cameras. I have to forget about it all and just see what's coming through. And the only way that I'm able to do that is through clearing my mind. So really, kind of on the way to the readings, I'm not even thinking or trying to not think about the fact that I'm about to step into a reading.
Right, and just kind of meditate through it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just try to really be conscientious of the subtle impressions that I pick up on. Because information doesn't come through like a billboard hitting me over the head. It's really very subtle. It's picking up on subtle visions, subtle thoughts, subtle feelings, and then knowing how to communicate those all and see what's significant enough to deliver.
Does it ever hit you like just a smack in the head? Like, have you ever been at a party and you're like, oh God, I need to tell Sharon that grandma's saying she's got a weird mole to get checked out? Like, do you ever, because that's what I would be, if you can ever like fully relax, or if stuff's just kind of like coming at you all the time.
As time's gone on, I've gotten a little bit better at refining it, but there definitely were times a little earlier, and even in season 1, where I was not as refined and really struggled to kind of sometimes be in social situations. But as time has gone on, I've kind of viewed this as therapy of sorts. It's like you wouldn't do 5-second therapy, so I don't do 5-second readings.
Okay.
It's like it requires a time and a place. So now I've learned, I really prefer to not go up to people in public if I get a feeling. I prefer to people to seek me out. Or if I do get a feeling, I'll tell someone, hey, here's my card, I'll meet with you for free for an hour. But it's a time and a place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
For sure.
I'm gonna see if you see anything on me.
Exactly. We'll do it. I love it.
Well, that was my other question. Are spirits, so you get these readings, and I saw the episode you did with Monica Potter, where you went into their house and you saw, kind of the spirit of her father all around. So does that mean spirits are around us all the time? Like, was my grandma at the frat houses when I was in college?
Right.
Like, how does that work? What do they see you doing? What don't they see you doing?
I mean, people are always concerned that they're watching a shower, and I definitely don't think that's
I'm always
the case.
wondering, I'm like, are the ghosts watching me in the shower? Not that I'm doing anything weird in the shower, but it just feels awkward.
No,
you know?
you just wouldn't want grandma to see all what's
I
going
don't
on.
need it.
Understandably.
My judge can, not watch me shower.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, what I would say, in like the Monica Potter case, for example, that was a really interesting connection because I did see her father's essence all around, but it was through the memories that he made. So for example, like when I went down to the basement, I saw a workbench, like very clearly where his old workbench used to be.
Right.
And it was a visual. That workbench clearly isn't still there. It was just in my head, but it once was there. And it was his way of communicating a message to say, in essence, though I might not be physically here, though that workbench might not be physically be here anymore, my essence, the impact I made, the difference I had in your life, that continues to live on. And so that's kind of more along the lines of what it's like. They're not really sitting around us waiting for us to mess up and judge us. It's
so
more
Grandpa's not watching you shower is the message we'd like to get across here.
For sure. Definitely not watching a shower.
Okay, so let's talk about this new season coming up.
Yes.
Did you have a favorite moment with a celebrity?
There were so many intense moments throughout the season, I can't even begin, but I would say my reading with RuPaul was one of the most profound for me personally because it was someone that I really looked up to. And so getting to read him and dive into a whole personal side was really fascinating and was a game changer for me. But I would say one of the most profound readings that I could think of was obviously, with Bobby Brown and the connectivity of that. For me, the family connections that were made with non-celebrities were even more profound than the connections that were made with the celebrity clients that a lot of people will be interested in hearing from. But for me, it was really that sister connection that hit it home and really validated it for the both of us.
Okay, and is there anything that ever comes through that you're like, oh God, I really don't want to say this out loud, or it's uncomfortable, or it's like difficult to get across?
I always say I'm not responsible for the messages I relay, so I'm kind of like the mailman. I'm not responsible for the mail that I get, I just have to deliver it. But the way I deliver it is my responsibility, and I have to be diplomatic, tactful, and mindful of how what I'm saying is going to affect the person when I leave them. But I also have to be as honest as I can. So I find, thankfully, information comes through that is always done in the way of, or with the intention of trying to help the person in their path. Information doesn't come through that's needlessly negative. If anything is negative or heavy, it's brought up to either assert and take accountability for, or to warn so that it can be avoided in the future.
Okay.
So
if someone comes through and is like, I hate your husband, you just kind of go, so Grandma wants you to look at the marriage.
Like, reassess,
But you won't just say, like, that's what I'm getting.
I believe that we go through a process of letting go of our ego when we transition. And so I believe that this is a process that some people are more proficient in and others less so. And I have to gauge to what extent I believe that spirit has let go of their ego. And that can kind of dictate how they come through. So if they're still holding on to things, if they've let go of things. But I do believe we all ultimately let go of all of our resentment, anger, frustration, and it's ultimately replaced with just forgiveness and acceptance.
Oh, that is very positive. That is very,
I mean,
that is very positive, yeah.